Well, it is a beautiful day here in Ohio, Saturday afternoon. I am on my way back to the house after training some babies. It went well. I was happy with everybody. Let's talk about how the race horses went this week. Braceford Landing didn't get in next week, finished 4th last week. James, all James told me was he didn't like him with the dog chain in his mouth. I raced him in it. I was fine with it, but, often to each his own. And I had told them that. I asked them to ask James what they wanted to have in his mouth. They did not. James didn't speak up, and that's how it raced. Now, James gets to say that in hindsight. He did say the horse trotted good. I thought he finished up well, and he's probably sitting on a good mile. I wish he didn't have a week off. But, of course, the class didn't go in Ontario, so hopefully it goes next week. International Man, I told everybody he was sitting on a good mile. Now, granted, he did look rough. I watched the replay 2 or 3 times, just trying to understand. And this is one of the rare instances where what you are watching is not what I saw from behind the horse. I didn't, at no point in the mile, a couple people messaged me and said, that was a pretty good drive keeping that guy together. I got to be honest, I didn't do anything. The horse was fine. It did not, what you saw on the video is not what I felt sitting behind him. He looked really rickety and rough in the race, as I said, on video, but just felt to me like he wasn't. And I think the disconnect is simply because his level of I didn't feel any distress, any frustration from him. And I think that's just because of the mechanics difference. What I mean by that is, I'd said this in videos earlier in the week, I just think that we have a lot of weight on him right now, and I don't think he's ever worn weight like that before, and it's kind of screwing with his timing a little bit, but he's muddling through. He's doing it good. And I feel, when I'm sitting behind him, a little ripple, a little wrinkle, but he doesn't feel off. He doesn't feel lame or sore or out of gear. Feels like he's getting through his work well. And I guess that's where the disconnect is, what you're seeing and what I'm seeing. So I was happy with International Man. He was not on a line. He was not lame. He was not sore. He was rough, but I believe that it was just a little more mechanics than anything else. So we'll see. We'll see how he progresses. I think you're going to see this horse get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And hopefully when all the dust settles and he makes his way up through the classes and we have some questions that need answered, can he do in the next class or the next class and the next class? I hope and believe that the answer will be yes. Save America was awesome the other day. I talked about him in a video this morning that I'd sent out, just about how horses respond in different ways. Listen, there's lots of horses we buy that have not gone well. Greatest Ending has not gone well since we got him, and he won't be the last, and he wasn't the first. There are going to be other horses that we just don't seem to get along with. It's just not, it doesn't mix, right? It just doesn't mesh together. That could be the horse's fault, that could be our fault, the trainer's fault, the driver's fault. It could be a million reasons. But there is another side of that coin where horses do come forward. Now, it's not like Save America wasn't a good horse before we got him. He was. But I would argue he's a much better horse overall right now than he's been in quite a while. He always was faster or stronger than some of the horses he raced against. But the vibe I got from people that drove him before, not just Scotty, other people I've talked to, was that he was a hanger. He didn't put in a full effort. He was a little bit lazy at times. I think that's a fair statement. From the people I talked about, I think I covered pretty well everybody that drove him. That was the sense that I got from him, which was fine. He was fast. For the money we paid for him, we paid good money for him. We paid $120,500 for this horse. But that wasn't an outrageous amount of money. Even for the horse that I thought we were buying. Even on that scouting report, he was worth more than that, I thought. Or at least that. Man, he certainly has. He has turned into a nice horse. The scouting report on him, then to now, is vastly different. This horse has tried hard, worked hard, and put in honest efforts, I think, since the day we bought him. So it's worked out very well in that regard. I've been very, very happy with him, and he raced great this week, winning the Open in 150 and 2. Spitfire Overseas slowly coming forward. Did I see the Open trotter Spitfire Overseas when I drove him? No. When I won with him at the Meadows, I saw a good horse, a diminished version of Spitfire Overseas, but I keep coming back to the fact that we never stopped with him because he was lame. So there was never a component of lameness or anything that would set him back. That you'd say, hey, he just didn't come back good from that. There was no that. So I suspect at some point you're going to see him flash back to where he was before. Texon Soprano, another horse that slid quite a bit over his last 3 or 4 or 5 starts, but bounced back with a great effort this week. We had a good week this week. Texon Soprano was a winner also. Greatest Ending, he was a winner this week. Yes, it was one of the lower classes, but he did win. Got to go out and get the job done, and he got it done. JK Victory is going to be qualifying this Wednesday at Northfield. Now, I don't know where we're going to race him. My gut would say the Meadows or Dayton. Are you going to see him race at Northfield? I can't imagine so, but it's possible. Let's see how he qualifies. We'll see how he qualifies on Wednesday, and then we'll take that conversation up. Looks like Money's going to race Monday. You're soon going to see him move from Ontario. He's probably going to move over to the Meadows. I need to make sure that we're not taking him out of one place where he's either getting in the wrong class or not getting in, just to move him to another place where he's getting in the wrong class or not getting in. And I think part of that will fix itself because he likely is an open trotter at the Meadows. But if the open trot isn't going and he doesn't fit the numbers of 10 or 12 over there, now what? He certainly can't race at Northfield Park, but he might be able to race at Dayton. Right? So we'll see. I just want to make sure we're doing this right. I believe we are. I think everything will be fine, but that will depend on him. Neptune is going to train at the track this week. I believe he'll likely qualify before Christmas or around Christmas time. Before January 1st, you should see him on the track in an official capacity. Rock Shining Star was good this week, but a little flat. Yes, he won. Did he look good, though? I don't know about that. I thought he looked okay. We'll see how he races this week. 3 Point Blue Chip was good. I might have been a little premature getting out of the 2-hole. I just didn't want to get locked in with him. Get locked in twice at Dayton. That wasn't going to happen this week. He raced well. Troysa, again, same thing as Neptune. He should be ready to go by Christmas. Yo Mister is going to race. He was sick last week. They went to enter him in to go. He had a temperature of 103. So he was fine. They ran some fluids into him. I suspect Stacy will train him up and race him next week. Chevron's Bypass. Some people asking me where she is. She's in Ontario. I told everybody that. Now, I guess I never sent an email out, and there are lots of people that don't watch all these videos, so I have to understand that also. But Chevron's Bypass is in Ontario training right now. Capistrano is a broodmare. Why does it not say broodmare? She's in foal. Sorry. She's in foal to Beach Glass. Actually, she'll be going over to Ontario to foal out in the new year. We have to just get our days in Kentucky first. Delicious Stone DK has been training. I wanted to talk to Dominic how he trained this week. I told him, I said, don't take a lot of time getting this guy back to the races. There's not going to be 40, 30, 20, 10. It's going to be a couple of trips in 25, 30. Put him in the race bike, go a mile in 2:10, get him into qualify. The thing with the throat and the leg, it's just been a disaster this year for this horse. So let's get him going. Patrick the Piranha, flat as a pancake the other day. That was not even a watered down version of the old Patrick. He's not lame, he's not sore, there's nothing like that. He's just in a funk right now. He drops way down in class this week. Let's see if we can make the most of it. So those are your race horses. I'll be back with your 3-year-olds, your 2-year-olds. Still haven't done your opening. I'm going to do that when the girls come out on our way to the mall. So, oh my. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful, I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Take care.